Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's Naaman with the DC Camp Great Millstone, back for another video. Oh boy, and unfortunately, as you're seeing here, these stories, wish they'd go away, but unfortunately. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. And once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'd like to also send salutations to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, trying to deliver the truth to our people to wake them up. But, all we can do is plant the seed. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, it's up to them to, through the Holy Spirit to provide the increase if that is all possible, according to their will. But we do our job, all right, pushing the truth across four corners of this earth in hopes of waking up the remaining hopefully elect. All right, so here again, what I say about the gift that keeps on giving. In this case, I'm talking about these damn things that they have teaching on this liberal bullshit. And if you hadn't read it, it says outraged parents pull kids from class after they were allegedly made to listen to a gender diversity lecture from drag queens. They weren't letting us leave. So even if you want to say, I take offense to this later. And again, these are kids. But as I read on, and this is from the 22nd, all right. So like 5 days old or whatever. It says parents at a Canadian school, and this is Canada now, where you got Trudeau and them, same old rusty, crusty Edomites up there. The wicked. Yanked their kids out of school last week after discovering that a drag queen gave a presentation about gender identity. And students who were uncomfortable during the event were allegedly not allowed to leave. Get a load of that. No, we're going to force you to listen. All right. Toe Ferguson, a non-binary drag performer. Non-binary. This shit is so ridiculous. You're either male or you're female. There's none of this. What is that? Shit. What was that Greek thing? It'll come back to me. Like being both, as in bi. But I'm trying to think of the actual. What was that thing? I almost had it. Maybe it'll come to me later. But anyway, and relationships. There they go with that crap. To 7th through 9th graders. 7th through 9th graders. Wow. What I say about catching them early. Proverbs 22:6. In fact, let's get it real quick. This tells you that, oh man, in righteousness, this is what it's supposed to do. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. But they're doing on the left-hand side, trying to get your child to do wickedness at an earlier age so that they'll be locked into this shit. This is some wicked ass shit. And you've got what? Let's see. What's left of today. So you're looking at 7, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a wake up before the election. People have already voted, and they're talking about the last couple of months about the voting count being delayed. So they've got this shit all worked out. They are trying their hardest. I can't determine whether or not this woman that they've pushed on everybody as well on a Democratic ticket is so bad. She's not even a good actor. That they're doing this deliberately so everybody be forced to go with Trump. He's going to be the real asshole. I mean, you know, the one that they actually want. Wink, wink. All right, because these motherfuckers are slick like that. Because this woman is so bad. All right, they gotta have secret teleprompters and uh, secret transmitters and all this other kind of shit to help her get. I mean, mm, mm, mm. See, everybody just because they have some type of education is not fit to be a top level politician. That's a whole separate, and this is proof of that. This is a whole separate skill set which she does not possess. But in any case, back to this: train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right, NLT: direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. And what they're saying on the left hand side here: direct your child onto the wicked path. When they are older, they will not leave it. All right, that's what they want. This is sad, But again, they keep pushing this, and people are tired. It says, when word spread about the presentation outraged parents of the Nova Scotia school children, some furious that a drag queen was teaching a lesson pulled their kids out of school on Friday in response. Now, Nova Scotia, as far as Jake is concerned, that was a place that our people fled to in some cases, um, because it's right adjacent, to the northern border of the U.S. northeastern there, going up past Maine and all that. So I believe the Rock's, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, I believe his father, Rocky Johnson, was from there, if I'm not mistaken. And there's another couple of more notable so-called African Americans that were from there too. It says, when word spread, I already read that, Slocking. So here we go down here. Other parents were upset when they discovered that children wanted to leave during the presentation and were made to stay and listen to the shit. All right. One mother who opted to take her child out of class Friday, Holly Riggs, told CTV News that her son was upset during the presentation but was prohibited from leaving. See, here's the thing. When you get a look at who this thing is, ta-da! Oh, boy. See, here's the thing about Jake. All right, they are so skillful in manipulating our people through, it's like take your pick at this point, through various forms of social media and, over span of time, because you got to understand this devil works like, what you call gradualism. All right, a little at a time. So it's not to give it to you all at once to where you be repulsed. So over time, like this issue that we're dealing right here, back in the 80s, this wouldn't have flown. Hell no. Maybe the very early 90s. But like I said, with social media, they actually, this has been filtered in through a long time. Starting with the cartoons, the old like Bugs Bunny and shit like that, Looney Tunes, they snuck it in there through the 60s, 70s, certain programs like, let's see, I know the Jeffersons was one, but that was later toward the end of the 70s, but let's see, that will gradually bring up issues like this. Off the hand, I'm sure after I do the video, all kinds of shit will pop in my head. But yeah, and especially in the 90s, it got more pronounced. They had this big picture called, and he used one of our, a popular Jake, to do this, and that was the movie Philadelphia, with all that, and to get garner sympathy. And it goes on from there. These are some sly, slick devils, That's why they're a devil. But anyway, when I asked him, this is the child that was upset after he told his mother about them not letting him leave because he felt very uncomfortable about this subject. But he says that when I asked him about it, he said, "Mom, I didn't want to be there, but they weren't letting us leave. It went above and beyond what should be taught in the classroom." Another parent, Greg Austin, recounted what his son relayed to him after returning home from school following the presentation last week. So they get this thing here, which is the face of Jake, in order to push their shit. All right. Wow. But, the good thing is we're at the end of this, and all hell, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, all hell is about to break loose in this place because they're getting the military ready. Not only that, they're going to be spread mighty thin because what's going over there in Western Asia, the so-called Middle East, is heating up. All right, so they got troops going over there. So they're going to be pulling troops from other bases here in the Western hemisphere to send over to try to defend them motherfuckers over there. All right, because you got to ask yourself. Well, no, you don't have to ask yourself. The thing is, these people that are pretending to be the chosen people, this is how far they're willing to go to protect a lie. And that lie is them being who they have said they were. At the end of the day, this is what this is. When you boil it down, this is what is at the core of this stubbornness, all right, on the Israelis' part. They're never going to admit, hey, we lied to the world about who we are. So in the meantime, you got all people concerned about shit like this. All right, all these distractions. You just started the NBA season 3 days ago. I think it was Tuesday. You got baseball that, World Series started tonight. You got football going on. All these distractions. In the meantime, like I said, the economy's getting ready to crash. You got the BRICS over there. They're over there flexing. Yeah. And you got, I think it's, how many that's riding still with the U.S. and Israel? Something like 40 nations that are left out of all the others. Yeah, so that huge line is being drawn in the sand, and Jake around here just acting as simple as they want, and here's shit like this. But of course, this particular incident took place in Canada, but still, it's happening here too. This is one of these things where when you use Psalms 64 chapter, actually I'm going to get it, but I might get 62 first. Hold on. Because we're in that time that all is being revealed. Whoops, what did I do that for? All right. A Psalm of David. All right. And this is prayer because all the things that are plaguing him, he's got to, have you forgotten about us, Lord? It says, truly, this is verse 1, truly my soul silently awaits for the Most High. From him comes my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you attack a man? You shall be slain, all of you, like a leaning wall and a tottering fence. They, who are the they, only consult to cast him down from his high position or his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah, who is the they? Our main enemy, the Edomites. And you say, you notice that all the while these talks about reparations have been going on for people that were descendants of slaves here in America, and everybody that comes over here jumps on the anti or on the bandwagon with these Edomites, and they want to give their reason as to why. No, you shouldn't, you don't owe them anything. And you're like, motherfucker, who are you? Now, granted, we, all right, tell you what true reparations is, and that's Revelation 13 and 10. All right, because what you get, and trust me, you're not going to get anything. King Charles just came down with that pitiful ass fucking, wasn't even an apology. He said, no, we're not going to give you reparations. And he even said, well, we're not going to apologize. So what does that tell you who we're dealing with? That's why I always bring out Psalms 43. You're dealing with a deceitful and unjust nation of people. All right. But anyway, I'm going to go because I'll come back to this. But I'm going to read this because, yeah, there it is right there. So judge me, O Most High, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. And this is what our prayers, this is what they're about. Against this ungodly ass Edomite. All right. Oh, deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. Now let me go to what I just read, Psalms 62, and read it again. All right. Let's see. 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. And that's what they do. All right. That's why we always refer to Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. All right. And on down to the end, verse 18. It gives you, if you can't tell who it's talking about in that, my soul wait thou only upon the Most High, for my expectations from him. He only is my rock, not the so-called white man, not anything he has to offer you. And a lot of you are going to find that out the hard way. He is my rock and my salvation, especially you women. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. In the Most High Yahweh is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in the Most High Yahweh. All right. So now let's go to 64. All right. Hear my voice, O Most High, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Who's our enemy? The Edomites, the so-called white man, the elite banking families, that whole wicked-ass nation. All right. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. This is who we're dealing with. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And it's only going to get worse because, like I said earlier, moments ago, how far are they going to take this in defense of a lie? Psalms 49 and 20. The least of the flock should draw them out. This is where we're at now. And they just attacked Iran. And, they took a hell of a long time since, what was it, the first, when Iran struck? So we're talking, hold on, 24 days. They had to think very carefully with what they're going to do because the consensus is not what it used to be. No one's just jumping automatically on board. They see these pieces of shit for who and what they truly are. All right. Verse 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, because they're expert at lying. Deceit is another superpower of theirs. All right. Aside from the blessing of the sword that was given to them. Even bitter words. And you see that with all their, here it is, these people can't defend themselves. All right. They're taking, these people, and it was a video I was going to do back in like August, I think it was. I can still do it, but, because people are seeing bits and pieces of how they're like stripping these people down and blindfolding them and having them go just in case there's mines and shit put out. Shit. This one guy said he was on Democracy Now! This morning. I was watching him. He said they held him at gunpoint and stripped him butt ass naked in front of everybody. Man, they're doing all kinds of wild shit over there, man. But wow. He says, let's see. They wet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. They may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who's perfect? That's the Israelites. That's us. Israelites, not Israelis. All right. Two very different things. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And this is the attitude. All this that they're pushing shit like this. Just pushing it in you. And these kids say, well, we wanted to leave. They wouldn't let us leave. And who is the face of this now? Get a load of that. Oh man, it's that song by the was it? Oh man, what was that? What was that group? Was it the Next Generation? Around 1970, I think the song was the Sly, the Slick, the Wicked. Even though that's talking about a relationship between but you can easily tweak that. Oh man. No, was it the Lost Generation? Hold on. The Sly, the Slick, the Wicked, Wicked, Wicked. Anyway. Been a long time. Anyway, so yeah, this thing. I'm not going to even read that. You can do that for yourself if you want. It says, continuing on. My son came home from school yesterday. All right. Let's see. He was telling me about the interactions he had with the influencer. That's what you want to call it. Mostly for me as a parent, we had no idea that anybody was coming to talk to our kids. Look at that. They didn't even tell the parents what was going on. Austin said his son was also uncomfortable during the presentation and was upset seeing his peers who tried to leave being made to stay. He could see people were not comfortable with that other people asked to leave and they weren't allowed to, the dad said. There wasn't any other option. Look at this thing. However, it was revealed that a majority of the outrage stemmed from the fact that Ferguson allegedly shared their drag social media account with a student following the presentation. So as if to say it won over someone. The Halifax Regional Center for Education, which oversees Oyster Pond Academy, confirmed to CTV News that the presentation happened and that their personal social media detail was shared. One of the presenters shared their personal social media details, which prompted some of the students to view content that is intended for an adult audience. Well, no shit. Ferguson was not specifically named in the statement. The drag performer, who is also employed as a creative programming facilitator at the Youth Project, a nonprofit organization for youth struggling with their gender identity or sexual orientation. They just have demons on them. But this devil, he does this because not only is this his way, this is what he's about. But again, it's another way to profit off of it, where you get all these so-called experts, and they get to this place got to go. It says, told the Daily Mail that the children, ranging in age from 12 to 15, were taught how queer identifying people might express their gender. Following the presentation, some parents allegedly attacked Ferguson on social media and sent direct messages expressing their displeasure over the students being taught about the controversial subject, according to the outlet. Ferguson, whose stage name is Cookie Cunningham, reportedly has images posted to the accounts wearing revealing out. However, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to even. Ferguson explained that toward the end of the presentation for the ninth grade audience, another teacher and a student approached and asked for their social media. In that moment is when I made the mistake in judgment and gave my drag account information. Really? I did not physically show them my account whatsoever. I must also stress that at the start of all presentations, I told all classes, do not look for me on social media. Well, why were you there in the first damn place? You see how they trick, well, not trick, but they just didn't inform the parents of anything. They never intended to. Just gonna throw it in the kids' faces like that. See, these some sneaky. That's just wicked. After receiving complaints, you got to resort to these tactics so you can get these kids early, so you can push that bullshit. Hope the next generation. Wow. After receiving complaints from parents, the school's principal and vice principal sent a letter explaining that they were legally required to follow the health education curriculum. So this is the health education curriculum. You're doing the same shit. I mean, this is this Western society, by the Nova Scotia Department of Education. The Halifax Regional Center for Education also said administrators visited the ninth grade class to discuss the aftermath and explain that the social media account shouldn't have been shared. A little late for that now, but that was your intent all along. See, parents are getting fed up with this shit. They really are. Mm, 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 mm. It's nothing much else to say. Just let me run this back. In fact, let me get Amos here. It's coming to my mind. 5 and 15. In fact, let me go again and read it here because that's worded. That's that like new King James bullshit. Let's see how it's worded. Amos 5 and 15. It's just as simple. It says, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Most High Yahweh, the God of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. And this is what we're trying to get our people to understand. Distance yourself from crap like this, because the plan all along was to get Jake all, and like I said, make Jake the face of this. Because I was around coming up through the 80s and stuff, and the 70s and 80s. And, when you thought about shit like this, it wasn't Jake. I mean, sure, you had Jake that was, but how they flipped it around, and we're talking about in a span of 30 years here. Just thinking of the music industry alone. Like I said, in TV and stuff, it was crept in, and I was throughout the 70s and the 80s, but it was still low key. But then in the rap industry, in particular, you could tell they were aiming hard at Jake. This is all this social engineering crap. But anyway, let's see what else I'm getting. I guess since I'm here, 29:16. Surely you're turning of things upside down, and this is some backward ass shit. All right. Shall be esteemed as the polished clay, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? You know, and this is what what we've unfortunately come to, because we have these um, the banksters that run this world. They profess themselves to be the chosen people, and they think this world is theirs. It is, but not like they think it is. All right. Job 9:24 says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right. You just have whatever time was appointed you. And as Job 14:5 says, you're not going to go past that point. All right. So here we have a people that are so proud. All right. We could go into Job 20th chapter, Job 21st chapter, Job 15th chapter, as a matter of fact. But it's all the same. You've been, your time is getting short, as it says in Revelation 12:12. And you know it. All right. For those of you that see these things, that the Spirit was on you and you received that eye salve and you see it, you were blessed to see it. Yeah, you see this thing. And everybody else is running around here like, oh, it's going to get better. Oh, no, 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 no. Terrible times are coming, and they're right at the doorstep. All right. So let's see. What else did I have? Yeah. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. Because again, he's being revealed. And we could go on Ezekiel 36th chapter. Them have stolen the land over there that's not theirs. Again, that was prophesied. We're not talking about a Balfour Declaration on that shit. We've always said that. And the math doesn't math. All right. And people are seeing that now. People are actually telling them, no. Because they went to that well, that cookie jar once too often. And people understand it's a bold-faced lie. Didn't know babies get beheaded. They have to, and again, you got to tell that lie about something that happened to you during World War II. It's become more and more evident over the decades since. No, shit don't add up. So that's why you had to enact laws with severe penalties like fines, and especially over there in Europe, fines and jail time for what they call Holocaust deniers. You can't even question it. And that's a big ass red flag in and of itself. The truth doesn't need that, doesn't need any offense at all. The truth is the truth. But a lie, however, yeah, we got to take all these steps to protect that lie. And that's why I made mention earlier. All this boils down to them trying to still hang on to that lie that we are the Most High's people. We are those chosen, and they're not. So they're going to take it all the way. All right, this is the type of mentality of the type of people that you're dealing with. And we've tried to tell you all along. All right. From the time that they took over and called themselves the Greeks with Alexander. All right. Through the Romans. We're talking about the same nation, a nation of Edom. The one who the Most High hates. It's been in the scriptures all along. Just because you weren't read that, well, that should tell you something. For you Christians out there, because you're largely responsible. Like I said at camp last weekend, you're at fault. That Christianity bullshit, that helped uphold these lying pieces of shit over in our land. White supremacy played a large part in that too. So now all this shit is crashing down, and I for one am happy to be a part of that. And that's that 2 Corinthians. In fact, let's get that, because again, being out here on the highways and byways. All right. This is what we were called to do. This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal." And this being spiritual and not carnal has paid huge dividends. The elder apostle Tahar on down always advised, say, stay spiritual, because that's what this devil wants you to go carnal. Because now you over in his area now. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to the pulling down of strongholds. What are those strongholds? Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach Yahushua. So all these lies, falsehoods, all the covering up, as it says in the faces of the judges that he covered, all this is being revealed now. And then you have lapdogs and people that are just hurt, like Vocab Malone. Can't feel bad for a piece of shit like that, because he's been set up, in case you hadn't figured it out yet. And, ultimately, those Jakes that are following him, well, that's what they were. That's their lot. All right? Nothing you can do about that. Just they want to follow that idiot, let them go out there. That demonic Pied Piper, let them go on out there. All right. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Man. You're going to have, let me get to the top. So, yeah, you're going to, how am I going to say this? It might be a case where parents start just take into account, and remember, I'm going to use a movie as an example. I've done it before, the same one, as a matter of fact. But the history of the character Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street. Just consider how he got that way. All right, so with that, I hope whoever views this has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone, filter everything through the scriptures. All right, and hope that you have therefore been edified. And once again, I want to remind you about the power of prayer and fasting. And remember, we have High Holy Day coming up next 3 weeks or so, maybe. Hanukkah. All right, so with that, until the next video, hey, shalom.